Shimoguchi dies. Haru dies. Shu is probably about to die. And many other death flags are still raised in the air, along with a possible kidnapping about to probably happen. So, Ishida, the bombshells you do on a weekly basis. How? Just how? Okay, so, it's been a while since I've sat down in my chair and done a review of Tokyo Ghoul. I want to cover a few things, as I said in my recent videos. I said the reason why I didn't do a analysis review on Tokyo Ghoul last week was because the chapter was just way too fucking sad for me, man. It was just way too sad because there's just so much meaning. And seeing this chapter is sad, but it also has its great moments about it as well. Like, you know, happy moments for me personally, which I know some, you know, Chibits won't be happy about some of the moments I find happy, but, you know, I'll get into it when I get there. We'll cross that bridge when I get to later parts of this video. For now, though, the reason why I didn't do a review last week was because I was just too emotional. I just did not want to do one because I couldn't really look at the chapter and do my, you know, breakdowns like I normally do. So, yeah, that is why that was delayed and why I'm doing it for this one. There's not going to be any live reaction. I'm just going to say right now, I wish I would have, but at the same time, sometimes I just love enjoying Tokyo Ghoul by myself. Just blasting my Tokyo Ghoul music while I'm sitting down reading the chapter. It's a thing for me, especially researching as well when I sit down to research and listen to my music. So, yeah, now that I've said that, today I'm here to bring you the weekly manga chapter review of Tokyo Ghoul Re Chapter 48. And as per usual, I'm going to be going through the pages, talking about it, breaking it down, and, you know, talking about the meaning of each individual page. Now, the chapter, to get right into it, there is some things that are kind of hidden and have a little bit of meaning, but the majority of the chapter is kind of straight to the point, but there is some things I want to cover that tie in with some of the recent videos I made of Tokyo Ghoul. So, anyways, let's start with this chapter. If you want to read alongside me, like if you want to look at the chapter alongside me, I guess pull it up. I'm on page 1. So, right off the bat, as soon as the chapter begins, it picks up where the last chapter ended on. For instance, you know how we're on the rooftop, you have it to where Shu is looking at the back of Sasuke, Sasuke turns around, and that's kind of where, you know, the last chapter ended. And that's, you know, where this chapter begins. We have it to where it continues off of there. And so, you have the situation where Kuri asks Sasuke, like, Sasuke, is there anyone on the roof? Like, is there anything going on? Like, what's the situation status? And they're just staring at each other. Oh yeah, one thing I quickly want to say before I continue on with this page and talk about the next page is, the chapter title's called NT. I've been told that the actual full official title is NTR. That's what I've been told, is that the chapter title is NTR. Supposedly in, like, the Raws. So, if that is true, and the chapter is called NTR, Ishida, what the fuck? Of all things, I never expected NTR in Tokyo Ghoul. You're telling me that this chapter is called NTR because of what we got. You know, what happened to Haru, and then Shimoguchi. Just what the fuck, man? Just what the fuck? What the fuck, Ishida? That's not right, man. Like, if that really is legit, and I'm not just hearing rumors, and the Raws did really have NTR as the chapter title instead of just NT, no chill whatsoever. No chill was found in Ishida's dictionary of writing Tokyo Ghoul. Okay, so, getting back into the first page. So, yeah, you have it to where there's nothing but silence between Shu and Sasuke as they stare at each other, and Kuri's asking for, you know, a status update. Moving on to page number 3, not counting, or actually I am counting the color page. So, page number 3, you have it to where Sasuke, he talks to Kuri, and he's like, hey, there's no one here. Like, no one's popped up. Tsukiyama's son has not appeared yet. And so, right now, Sasuke just lied to his boss. Like, let's think about this for a second, okay? Sasuke just lied to his boss about Shu being there. So, this could get Sasuke in some deep shit. later down the road. Like, in some very bad shit if they find out about this. But that's really not just it either. It goes to show you the mindset currently that Sasuke is in before anything goes down. And let me actually read what Sasuke says to Shu. And it really just... it's sad, and it pisses me off, but it's just... you know, let me just read it first, okay? So, Sasuke says, So you were a Tsukiyama. And then Shu says, making a false report to your boss? Are you taking pity on me? And then Sasuke says this, I've been ordered to exterminate you. Due to our positions, we have no choice but to fight. But before that, I want to talk to you. Okay, let me just backtrack here real quick. Because of our positions, of where we stand in society is the reason why I have to exterminate you. You know what type of vibes I'm getting when I look at this? Like, what vibes I get when I read a panel like that? You remember the Chimera Ant arc of Hunter x Hunter? Of Netero and Meruem when they fought? And how they, or the reason why they had to fight was because of their positions and where they stood in society and what they stood for. That was kind of one of the main reasons why Netero and Meruem fought each other. And they wanted to fight, but they didn't really want to kill each other. Like, they enjoyed the fight, but they didn't want to do a death match. Because, you know, they kind of respected each other. But they were forced in this situation because of where they stood. And that's kind of what this panel reminds me of quite a bit, just looking at this right now, and seeing how Sasuke, or any CCG member, regardless of where you stand, they are forced to take down a ghoul, regardless of your connections to this said ghoul, or if this ghoul is a kind person. Now, I'm not saying Shu is innocent, he's done some pretty shitty things in the past, but Shu is a good guy, and he has shown that he is a good guy, especially in the latest chapter. His development is just fucking beautiful, especially the next couple pages. But seeing this right here, it's very sad. It just once again goes to show you how society has been built up, where ghouls and humans cannot come to a mutual understanding because of how V has operated behind the scenes. So yeah, okay. Next page. Now, what Shu says, I want to quote him. What do you want to ask? And are you trying to learn about yourself from me before you kill me? And then Sasuke says, please surrender. Then I could ask the CCG if I could have ownership rights over you. Really? Okay. The thing is here, I can ask CCG if I can have ownership rights over you. You realize how disgusting that... oh, fuck. Tsukiyama is not your pet. He is not your fucking pet. He is not your fucking pet. End of discussion. But, the other thing that really gets me, okay, is how he straight up just asks you that. He's like, please surrender, then I can ask CCG to have ownership rights over you. And then we know what happens to ghouls eventually down the line. And that's what Hinami's currently facing. Like, she's going to end up dying. And then Shu's reaction to this, I think, is probably one of the best moments of this chapter. One of the best fucking moments of this chapter, and probably one of the best moments in recent chapters, just to see this development of Shu, just to see what he's willing to do. I want to quote him. Surrender, you say, and fucking kicks him in the fucking gut. Oh my god, oh shit, dude, that is just so... okay. Shu kicks him in the fucking gut. And you just see it, just, oh, Sasuke getting wrecked in the next page. Just like, fucking wrecked. Page 5. I want to point out something. A Chibi showed me this on Twitter, and I want to, you know, show you guys. But if you did not know, this panel where Shu kicks Sasaki, this is another retelling of Tokyo Ghoul. I'll have the picture on the screen, actually, to show you guys. Chibi gave me this picture, and if you look, you'll see how when Shu fought Kaneki, he kicked him. And then in this, you see it where Shu kicks Sasaki. And once again, them references to part 1, like a retelling or certain events happening, just crazy how Ashita does that. And it just goes to show you how he's probably reread his own series quite a bit and loves doing this type of shit with his characters. So yeah, I mean, food for thought right there. Just to see how Ashita added that in, it's like a plus for longtime readers of Tokyo Ghoul, or readers that really read the manga over and over. Pretty cool little detail about, you know, this chapter. But what really gets me, though, is how Shu just straight up fucking kicks Sasaki in the gut. Because let's think about Shu's point of view, okay, in this arc. This entire arc, or the entire reason why Shu's family is in this situation, you can deny it if you want, but I'm just saying, the reason why Shu is in this situation is because of Kaneki. Because, let me go back into details. If Kaneki did not leave Shu and rush off to go die, kind of at the end of part 1, and then fight Arima, and, you know, all the events happened at the end of part 1 when he left Shu, and put Shu in that state where he was depressed and overeating, this wouldn't really kind of be happening right now. Like, Shu would not be facing this situation with his entire family facing extermination. And his entire point of view in this arc was, Kaneki, I want my Kaneki back. And he wants Kaneki back, and that's what drove him through this entire arc, and what he was willing to kind of give up to try to get him. And then, you know, how he was depressed and what changed him from being in depression to going back into this happy state he was in, it was Kaneki, or Sasaki now. And to see how he just straight up, after what has happened in the last chapter, and then after confronting Sasaki and looking at him, and then Sasaki asks, like, you know, surrender and I'll get, you know, I'll take ownership of you, Shu just straight up kicking him like that. It's brilliant character development because of what he says. Let me actually say, I would never do that. And then, this right here is probably the best, like I said, one of the best moments of the chapter. Shu starts saying, I would never do that. My father and the servants have all risked their lives to make sure I survive. This body is no longer my own. Are you saying I should just surrender and just sit around carelessly at the prison until I get killed? I will fight in order to survive. And then Shu says this. Mr. Sasaki. Shu does not straight up just call him Kaneki anymore. This just goes to show you the change in Shu right now, with him saying that. Mr. Sasaki. I don't know anything about you. Okay, so let's just talk about this development real quick. Okay, so what does this mean? What does this part of this chapter mean? That's the first thing. Well, for one, he's no longer addressing Sasuke as Kaneki. He's no longer calling him Kaneki. And this means that Shu has accepted that Sasuke is not Kaneki. He has accepted that. That is the first thing we need to take note of with this page. Shu now knows that Sasuke is not Kaneki. Like, he even admits it with his own words. But then, when he says, I don't know anything about you, it's in a way of Shu letting go. Letting go. Let me explain what this actually means. I made a TG video yesterday. I talked about Shu. And I talked about how Shu either is going to be facing his possible demise, or he is going to have to let go of Kaneki and move on. And that's kind of where this is going right now, because he's at the point to where he's gotten over the death of Kaneki, because let's once again look at the way he addressed Sasuke. He's like, Mr. Sasuke. He's not even addressing Kaneki. And Shu is not in a depressed state to where he was at the beginning of this arc, where, you know, he couldn't do nothing without his boy Kaneki. And if you look at the way it was done, Shu's not in that way now. He's like, I have no reason or no rights to my body anymore. Like, my body is for my father, for my servants, for my family, everybody. You know, everybody that has just died for Shu. My body is for them. And he's saying, like, I have no right to sit and cry and be miserable and just pity myself. He's like, I have no reason to do this anymore. I have to stand up, be strong, and fight for my survival. And so, Shu has now accepted Kaneki-kun's death. That is what this panel means. To just be straight to the point, this panel means that Shu has finally admitted that Kaneki is gone. That fucking development. Sheeta, brilliant. Fucking brilliant. Just fucking brilliant. Just like, it's not even straightforward either. Like, I mean, with this dialogue, it's not even straightforward that, you know, he comes to that development. But if you think about it enough, that's what it means. So, let's move on. Okay, so this next part is just fucking depressing. Like, it's... Okay, so, to explain this right now, what's sad about this is not really... Okay, how can I put this? Shimoguchi, I'm not gonna say I am completely attached to him as a character. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say that he is my favorite character. I'm not. But then, after reading his death, like his final words, I'm inclined to put him in my top 5 or top 10 favorite characters of Tokyo Ghoul now, because of the meaning of his death, which I will talk about. But this page 8 of Tokyo Ghoul, we go back to the fight of the new Noro, or Kanye versus Shimoguchi squad, and as soon as we come to this page, you see it to where Shimoguchi has lost his arm, left arm, completely, and he's lost his finger, so he can no longer even hold a weapon. Even if he was to say survive this ordeal, he can no longer hold a weapon, because that's just what type of state he's in. So right now, he's pretty much already fucked. He's fucking fucked. But, here's the thing. Shimoguchi's face, his face of agony when he realizes what has happened to him, like when you just see these squiggly lines on his face and stuff, you just really go to show, it really goes to show you the terror he is currently facing and what emotions he's probably feeling, because right after this he just starts screaming because it probably fucking hurts quite a bit. I mean, he's lost an entire arm, he's lost his fingers, he realizes he's about to probably die because he can no longer defend himself, and just this one panel right here is sad. It's so sad because it's like a dude about to face his own demise. Like, he's looking at death in front of him. But this ain't really the sad part about it, though. Like, the real sad part about, you know, this segment of the chapter. Okay, so, what he says here, or what he starts thinking in his mind, he's like, hot, shit, it hurts. And he starts yelling at his subordinates like, go already. You want to die, you stupid woman? That's what, you know, Shimoguchi was saying. And what he means by that is, as you can already tell, because I've read enough series, I think majority of us can already tell what he means by this dialogue, is he's trying to say anything he possibly can to force his subordinates to leave, to run, to get the fuck away. Like, they need to go, or they're gonna die. Because that is the crisis they're currently facing, and Shimoguchi realizes this, so he's like, you guys need to run, just leave me. And so, in his act of trying to get them to run, he's trying to piss them off, make them angry, or hate him, for they will spit on him and leave him to die. In a way, he's trying to ruin his own image, for they can run and save themselves. That's sad. That means he doesn't even care about how people view him after death. He's just willing to save the lives of the people that is close to him, or his squad members. So it goes to show you what type of character he is. But then, what's sad is what he says, too. He's like, geez, you guys really have all the bad luck. Your previous squad leader, Shibashi, died during the auction battle. And now, your new squad is like this. And then, in his internal thoughts, he's like, damn it. Even though my right hand hurts so much, my left arm has no feeling in it at all. If only Shibashi was still alive, then they wouldn't be in this situation. What you get from this is he's blaming himself. He's blaming himself for putting them in this situation. He's blaming them for putting them in this situation where they're probably going to have to witness their leader's death, another squad leader's death, but also possibly them dying. So, just a very heart-touching moment, but then more of his dialogue to try to persuade them to leave. So, I'll be honest. I hate you all. You're just in the way. Useless. Get lost. He's saying anything he can to get them to leave him. And what's truly sad is when we quite liked you, First Class Shimoguchi. And then you hear a splash noise. We already know they're dead. Let's just face it. We already know they're dead. So, Shimoguchi, even though he said these words, these harsh words to his subordinates, they still respected him enough and cared for him enough to die for him. They willingly faced death for him. That's not respect for a leader. I don't know what is. But then, the truly sad moment of the chapter is this dialogue. I don't know how many are probably going to realize what this dialogue means here. Like, this just giant black panel with words. Like, I don't know how many probably will realize what this means. So, let's kind of explain it. The thing about this panel here is Shimoguchi goes along the lines of remembering his childhood. He starts remembering his childhood, thinking back to his past, and thinking about when he was little. And he remembers this boy, Yamada. And as, you know, the story just keeps talking about a random jumble of things. He talks about how people used to view him and how people used to call him ugly. And, like, I know for a fact Shimoguchi has gotten a lot of flack from readers. I've seen it from people in the comments. I've seen it on all sorts of stuff, like social networks like Twitter and Facebook. I've seen people make fun of Shimoguchi because of his lips and the way he looked. And to see how this was written here, Shimoguchi, in his final moments, he says, like, I know I'm ugly. I probably will never find no one. I know people probably dislike being around me because of the way I look. And, you know, he just goes along the lines of saying he knows he's ugly. And seeing how he says this type of stuff, and then, you know, how he just talks about his childhood, and then, you know, all sorts of different little things, it's sad, really. It's like this dude just thinking about how his life was and how people really viewed him. And then, on his final moments, pluck. Rose. So, I don't think I need to really say the obvious here, but I'm going to anyways. This part, or this panel right here, where you see Noro Kanye just holding Shimoguchi's head, he says Rose. Let's remind some of you, if you probably forgot, which, if you forgot, I don't know what to say, because you shouldn't forget, but in, you know, the last arc, Auction Raid, remember Pineapple? His entire iconic line from his, you know, introduction, or Sato's introduction as Pineapple, was pulling people's heads off and saying, ooh, a pineapple. You know, saying shit like that. And what do we see here? We see it to where, once again, another head has been pulled off of a person, and this time it's being used as another object, as a rose. Instead of a pineapple, it is a rose. So, what this implies is that Eto tortured Sato. People thought it was Tatra. People thought Tatra was the one that tortured Sato because of, you know, their past relationship. But nope, that is not the case. After looking at this now, we can already assume that Eto tortured Pineapple. Because of the way he is pulling people's heads off and saying, a rose, a pretty rose. So yeah, Eto is, quite something. Her torture, I just, wow. Just seeing how Pineapple or Sato is in the state he is in now because of Eto just goes to show you what Sato had to deal with and now what Kanye has had to do with as well. It's pretty damn sad and tragic just to see that. So yeah, the similarities now between Pineapple and Noro version 2, yeah. And then, along the lines of that, you have to where Kanye's like, I have to show Master Shu when he's holding his new rose. We're just gonna call Kanye now Rose. I'm just gonna call him Rose, because that's a nickname I should probably give him, since now he's pulling people's heads off and calling them roses. I called Sato Rose. I called Sato Pineapple. Whoa, what the fuck? I called Sato Pineapple because he's pulling people's heads off like pineapples. And now I want to call Kanye because he's pulling heads off and saying roses. Pretty rose. Okay, so next page. Oh, actually, whoa, let me back up real quick. In the panel, though, on the bottom, you see it to where, Kanye's eyes, they're stitched. They're fucking stitched. So, that has to fucking hurt. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh yeah. So we move over to the Quinkex squad and Kuri and all them and what's going down with, you know, Kanye. They're like, okay, several squads, including Shimoguchi's, has ceased all communications. It looks like a new enemy has appeared. So you have it to where all the squads are like, okay, so we need to figure out what's causing this, you know, why has the communication stopped? So you have it to where the QS and Ito squad have to go down and go give backup downstairs, and that's where the next part of this chapter leads into. So yeah, QS and Ito squad head down to go find out what happened to Shimoguchi squad. And as they get down, you get to the next part with Haru. Like, we move over to Haru's, you know, segment. Now, you see it to where we have the Kagane RC cell wall that's, you know, blocking the way. We saw this once before. And this is the fated rematch that we all knew was coming. This time, Matsume has learned a valuable lesson of how Haru operates. She's just cut straight through the Kagane wall. Matsume's waiting on the other side. They look at each other, and then Haru's like, looks like you're in the mood today. And then Matsume pulls out her Kagane, which looks fucking amazing. Oh my god, it looks... I love the form of her Kagane. It looks amazing. But she's like, of course. And then you have to where Haru's like, haha, what a nice Kagane you have over there. And then I look forward to getting that one. So Haru's like, I'm going to be using your Quinke, or using you for a Quinke. I'm so glad she fucking dies. Yeah, so we get a little bit of backstory on Matsume and how she was one of the best servants when it comes to fighting, how her Kagane was special, like, you know, how strong it was, and eventually she went off to fight Mirumo, you know, Shu's father, in battle. Just goes to show you how strong Matsume was, but also how she was even holding back against Shu's father because she didn't want to hurt Shu's father. And she continues to fight Haru. And while fighting Haru, Haru takes a fucking stab through the chest. Yo! Okay. So, let's just say right now. Haru, I'm glad she died. I'm sorry. You could like her. I won't put you down. If you like Haru, you could like her. I'm not putting you down. I mean, I say the same thing to Urei fans. If you like Urei, like Urei. But I'm not completely against Urei anymore just because of some of the things he has done. He has shown a lot of development, but still, he's still one of the worst boys of the series. But still, getting back on Haru. After some of the shit she has done in latest chapters, especially with the last chapter, and the heartbreak she has caused me, and to see how she puts on this rape face, and she was just killing people off, and just, you know, getting happy, just getting fucking happy about it, it really made me freaking upset. It really did. And so to see how Matsume, she got her vengeance, and just impels Haru straight for the fucking gut. GG. GG. G. Fucking G. I just... you know, I don't know what to believe about this right now, because I don't know if I want to say Haru is dead or not. But she is a human, but then again, she is connected to Garden, so don't know. She's connected to Garden, the same location with Arima, so there might be some differences about her. But then again, I don't know what to believe. This is Tokyo Ghoul, and Ishida does kill off characters. We have seen it. Look what he just did to Shimoguchi in this chapter. But is Ishida willing to kill off 2 characters in 1 chapter is the main question. And even then, Haru, as a character, even though I don't like her as a character, I mean, she's a good character, just I don't like the way she's been acting, I feel like it's too soon to kill her off, in some ways. It feels like she has a lot more to kind of display as a character, because I don't feel like she has fully lived up to her full potential as a character. Because we've only seen her since, you know, recent chapters, and it really hasn't been that long at all. It really hasn't. And of all characters I thought that would die quickly, it would be someone like Kijima, because of how he acted to the Tsukiyama family. He was the one character I think would be killed off before anyone in this arc, but he's yet to die. So, kind of shocking from Ishida, actually. But Haru, even then, seeing her impelled like this, if she dies, well, I guess Ishida didn't really have much plans for her. Or she might be used as some form of motivation in the future to reveal some information, but for now, we can just chalk it up as saying Haru might be dead, but there is an off chance she could be alive because she is connected to Garden. So yeah, Haru, GG. Next part, we move into the final panel of the chapter, and what a bitch of a fucking cliffhanger. Just tell you right now, I'm not a big fan of this fucking cliffhanger. I'm never a fan of Tokyo Ghoul cliffhangers, man. It just fucking pisses me off, man. The cliffhangers are hell. You get some good shit throughout the entire chapter, and then you get this cliffhanger, you're like, really? That shit just happened? So, Ito and QS Squad has just encountered Noro. Now, let me rephrase this. They just encountered Noro. They did not encounter, you know, Rose Noro. They did not encounter that Noro. They just encountered the original Noro from Eto. So, this is pretty bad. Very fucking bad. Very, very bad. A very bad situation, because right now, this is leading into a situation with a kidnapping. Remember what I said, I think 5 to 4 chapters? It was a while ago. I said it many weeks ago. I talked about how some of our QS squad has been set up for kidnappings. The doctor wants to find out more about the QS surgery. So, what better way than to kidnap one of them? And that's kind of where this is leading. Now, I don't believe that Eto is probably really following the doctor's orders, because as we know, Eto does her own thing. And judging by the way Eto has been operating in these past couple chapters, she's probably doing this by herself without Ogiri Tree at all. Like, Eto, just throw aside Ogiri Tree right now. Eto's doing her own thing. She's just doing her own motive, her own thing, and she's not really doing anything for Ogiri Tree. So, in a way, this might mean that she might capture one of the QS children for the doctor, but also the main reason why Eto and the Noros are here is because of a bigger objective that Eto wants to accomplish. So whatever it is, it's probably not good, because whatever Eto does is usually tragic. Because, I mean, look what she did to a bunch of families, look what she's done to Rose, look what she's done to, you know, Sato. There's a lot of examples of what Eto has done to people. When Eto wants to jump in and intervene without Ogiri Tree, for example, something bad, something very bad is coming. So yeah, we're probably going to get quite a few deaths. Quite a few deaths next chapter. I can already see the deaths spiking up. I would not be surprised. I don't know if it'll happen. I doubt it, but I would not be surprised to see someone die, like a very important main character die, like maybe like Shirazu or, you know, Mutsuki, maybe even Saiko. I mean, I would not be surprised to see an important character die next chapter. Even Shu. Shu could possibly die as well. So, it's up in the air. It's up in the air right now. So tell me your thoughts. How do you all feel? I've reached the end, and it was a great chapter. A really fucking great chapter. So yeah, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. How do you all feel about Chapter 48 of Tokyo Ghoul? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? I think this review is a little bit shorter than some of my recent ones, but you know what? It was a battle-orientated chapter. Didn't have that much symbolism going on. So, yeah. Anyways, you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live, and please be safe. Chibi out.